Welcome to Wisdom Tales channel. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there lived a king named Midas. He was known throughout the land for his immense wealth and his insatiable desire for more gold. King Midas had everything a person could ever want, but still, he was not satisfied. He spent his days counting his gold coins and dreaming of ways to increase his fortune. One day, as King Midas sat in his treasure room, surrounded by piles of glittering gold, he made a wish. "Oh, how I wish that everything I touch would turn to gold," he exclaimed, his eyes gleaming with greed. Little did he know that his wish was about to come true. As if by magic, mysterious figure appeared before him. It was a fairy godmother, her wand sparkling with stardust. "King Midas," she said in a gentle voice, "your wish has been heard. From this moment on, everything you touch will indeed turn to gold. But be warned, for great power comes with great responsibility." Overjoyed, King Midas couldn't believe his luck. He reached out and touched a nearby vase, and to his amazement, it instantly transformed into solid gold. Laughing with delight, he ran around his palace, touching everything in sight. Chairs, tables, curtains, all turned to gleaming gold at his touch. Excited by his newfound power, King Midas decided to celebrate. He called for a grand feast to be prepared, eager to show off his golden touch to his courtiers. As the servants bustled about, setting the table with the finest silverware and china, King Midas sat back, admiring his golden kingdom. But as the feast began, King Midas soon realized that his wish had a terrible downside. When he reached for a juicy apple, it turned to gold in his hand. He tried to take a sip of wine, but the goblet froze into solid gold, the liquid inside hardening instantly. No matter what he tried to eat or drink, everything turned to gold before it could reach his lips. Hungry and thirsty, King Midas began to panic. He looked around at his golden palace, once a source of pride, now a cold and lifeless place. The warmth of the sun couldn't penetrate the golden walls, and the sweet scent of flowers was replaced by the metallic smell of gold. In his distress, King Midas called out for his beloved daughter, Rose. She came running, worried by the fear in her father's voice. "Father, what's wrong?" she asked, reaching out to comfort him. But as King Midas instinctively embraced his daughter, he felt her body stiffen in his arms. To his horror, Rose had been transformed into a golden statue. Her once rosy cheeks were now cold metal, her sparkling eyes frozen in a lifeless gaze. King Midas fell to his knees, weeping at the terrible consequence of his greed. "What have I done?" he cried, his voice echoing through the empty golden halls. "I would give up all the gold in the world to have my daughter back." In that moment, King Midas realized the true value of love and happiness, things that all his gold could never buy. Desperate to undo his terrible mistake, King Midas prayed for forgiveness. To his surprise, the fairy godmother reappeared. "King Midas," she said, her voice filled with compassion, "you have learned a valuable lesson. Your greed has brought you nothing but misery. Are you ready to give up your golden touch?" Without hesitation, King Midas nodded. "Yes, please. I want nothing more than to have my daughter back and to enjoy the simple pleasures of life again." The fairy godmother waved her wand, and a shower of sparkling dust fell over King Midas and his golden kingdom. Slowly, everything began to return to its original state. The golden walls faded back to stone. The metallic smell was replaced by the sweet scent of flowers, and the warmth of the sun once again filled the palace. Most importantly, Rose began to stir, her golden form softening back into flesh and blood. King Midas hugged his daughter tightly, tears of joy streaming down his face. "I'm so sorry, my dear Rose," he whispered. "I've been such a fool." From that day forward, King Midas was a changed man. He opened the doors of his palace to the poor and shared his wealth with those in need. He spent his days enjoying the company of his daughter and his people, finding joy in the simple things that money could never buy. As the years passed, the story of King Midas and his golden touch spread throughout the land. Parents would tell their children the tale as a reminder that true happiness comes not from wealth, but from love, kindness, and appreciation for the world around us. And so, dear listeners, we come to the end of our tale. King Midas learned that the most precious things in life cannot be bought with gold. His journey teaches us that greed can blind us to the true treasures we already possess: the love of family, the beauty of nature, and the joy of simple pleasures. Remember, as you go about your day, to appreciate the golden moments that money can't buy: a child's laughter, a friend's embrace, the warmth of the sun on your face. These are the true riches of life. For, in the end, it's not the gold we accumulate that matters, but the love we share and the happiness we create. So, the next time you find yourself wishing for more, take a moment to look around and count the blessings you already have. For like King Midas, you might discover that you're already richer than you ever imagined. And with that, we bring our wisdom tale to a close. May the story of King Midas and his golden touch remind you to cherish what truly matters in life. Until next time, dear friends, may your days be filled with love, laughter, and the magic of simple joys.